we need to talk, or I need to talk, and you need to listen, and maybe become mad at me or feel something for whatever I'm going to speak about. I am quite nervous, which I usually doesn't feel, or I usually don't feel like this at all speaking. So I just think that this is something really rooted in the energy right now. I was watching the Americans and what they are kind of up to these days. And I also spoke with one of my friends the past weekend about riots or protests and everything that is happening in the US. And obviously I've already said that I was watching the what happened in the Middle East, and I have been reading about the financial state of both the US and Sweden. I didn't really understand why, but I'm coming to it eventually. It will make sense when I'm done. The US are in extreme debt, as we all know, and they are currently borrowing money to keep their schools open. That is how much debt they actually are in. Every war is adding $1 trillion to the debt. They are paying $1 trillion in interest every year on their debt towards the Japanese, the Chinese, and all the investors that are wanting their money, obviously. So that the US is going into war, or they can afford it. I would have been more at ease with the current circumstances if I knew that they had any type of financial stability. And they are pushing more closely to the point where the outside world is not going to believe they can pay back if they don't do anything anything about it. So that started it all. Then I moved over to the Swedish debt. I knew that we have paid most of it off, and so I looked at it and like we are fine. However, we are fine because we did something in the 90s, and as someone that is born in the 1983 in 1983, I kind of remember this when it shifted, and how all of a sudden we didn't have a school nurse any longer. They changed it to one person, and that person had to kind of go to all the schools, so she was just present like one day a week or something at our school. And I remember like noticing this shift, and all of a sudden we didn't have like books, and our classes were our class was larger than it used to be. But you know, you adapt, and eventually it became like how it is. Today I can see obviously that that was the starting point of us actually becoming more financially stable, financially aware of, yeah, you can't have too much loans. You have to, because then you just pay interest on the taxes that actually come in and are supposed to give a solid foundation for the country. And so I did realize that we have been through a crisis, that the Swedish people took that and we worked our way through it. It's not fun to be that responsible, obviously. Before that, we loaned and spended money like it was nothing, but we were responsible and we took the hit. So we went through all those years, and then in 2015 and 2017, what is it? It's 30 years later. Am I correct then? This immigration thing happened, and the Swedish people, we are Gemini Sun, we are Virgo rising, and we are Cancer in Moon. So underneath it all, we are deeply compassionate, and we do care about other people and being open and inclusive, which is the Swedish people. However, we put up a front of Virgo rising, which is clear-minded, a bit cold, very mercurial, which is like communication and being a tad bit perfectionistic, very clean, very structured and organized. But underneath it all, we are Cancer. So 2015, 2017, we are now being called to help out with the immigration thing that the EU put us, like they told us to. Where am I going with this? I spoke to one of my friends that and she is extremely intelligent. She is following the immigration in the US and how people seem to be extremely upset with Trump actually doing what Trump is there to do. He is there to kick everybody that is illegally in the country out. And the Americans seem to not want that. I don't know why they are putting up such a fight on it, because we're talking about illegal people. We're not talking about the one that actually wants to just find a job and make a good living, honestly. There's also a story here that she told me that in, I think it was Venezuela, they closed jail, like a whole building. They closed it down and let everybody out if they promised to go to the US and stay there. And obviously all the interns said, yes, we let us out and we will go to the US. And they did. So that is the kind of people that Trump is going after. What his citizens do, I have absolutely no idea. I don't know if they know it themselves. However, and I'm coming to like a point here eventually. When my friend spoke about this, my first reaction were, I wish Sweden and Europe did the exact same thing. So I can judge Trump. I can judge the Americans who want the illegal, I pointed out, illegal people out of the country. That made me think, and I had a hard time kind of letting this thought go. So I did a spread on this, and I have been kind of thinking about it and discussing it, and where is Sweden going in all of this? I'm looking at the Americans. They do things differently. They do things differently when it comes to debt. They do things differently when it comes to this immigration thing. However, it's kind of similar towards what Europe is going to. We are just more, I wouldn't say not honest. We are not as combative about it. than the Americans are. And I did a spread. And I need you to be open towards this and not be reactive or come up with all kinds of words that would say that I am things that I'm not. Um, because I think Swedish people need to speak about this, and I'm extremely Swedish, even if I'm half Swedish. Um, and it feels like the Swedish people need this message to actually be out there. We are extremely kind, and I've said that before. We are extremely kind and compassionate, but we are emotionally drained, emotionally exhausted, and we need someone to kind of stand up for us at this point. And Sweden needs to be the first one out there because everybody looks up to us. And everybody, if Sweden does this, then everybody feel like, even if they openly don't say it, they might internally or like do the paperwork, they might shift their way of thinking because Sweden has stand their ground, has shifted with clear mind. This needs to be clear-minded and authoritative. It needs to be logical, and it needs to come off as we are still open and compassionate. We just need to be responsible. It needs to be with a responsible look on it. We need to take care of the Swedish people. And this is spread. Sweden is in a place where I started like this. I did a reading on Sweden and immigration. Sweden is in a place where it needs to kind of make a decision. And the surrounding energy is the moon being reversed. Like clarity is coming up, the path moving forward, it gets easier to see than it has been in the past. The goal is quite brutal. It's cutting out something that just doesn't work. It's, yeah, no, we're shutting that down indefinitely. That is not coming back at all. We are kind of scared or we don't want to kind of step on anybody's foot. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want like conflict or the middle ground. We want to be heard in this particular issue here. What to do is to actually face what is not scary, but like the big out there, the scary thing that is out there. And I was wondering, I had to sit down and think about that. Yeah, what is the Swedish people kind of afraid of? So we started to discuss, is it the EU and sanctions and all of that? And I think it is. My conclusion is that it is. That the, what do you call it? The European Parliament, the EU, will not take it good. Take it like be extremely upset with us to kind of come after us with sanctions. They will argue with us. They will, emotional manipulation here again. And we are deeply compassionate people. Cancer moon, we do truly care. However, and I'm sorry if this hurts anybody, but the Swedish people actually regret the 2015, 2017, because of the naive way we looked at it. Because if we, again, this is not towards anybody that actually wants to be here, that loves this country, that wants to contribute, pay taxes, that wants to celebrate the things Sweden celebrates and wants to help out and be a part of it. I know many people like that who just feel so grateful for the safety and the peace that actually are in this country, and we have worked extremely hard getting the last 200 years. We have been poor too. The Swedish people is just extremely good at working ourselves up, and obviously it's not us, but it is our ancestors, and it is the energy that the Swedish people actually is born on, like the earth with the Gemini sun, the Virgo rising, and the Cancer moon. We are, as a Gemini, we are technology, we are like everything that has to do with intelligence, fairly to what do you call it, two-faced too. We can say something but then go into something else. And then our Virgo rising with intelligence and the cleanliness and Little Miss Perfect, Big Brother thing, and also like deeply compassionate and caring and open and just want to love everybody, but we can't. So we've been through our journey with since the 90s, I think. And the Swedish people, and I do speak for everyone, feel regret over 2015, 2017, when we pretty much opened the border to everybody. And that means like the people that should not be here at all. And something is shifting, and it is supposed to shift. It is an ending towards all of this. The advice is the tower for Sweden. And I was getting stuck on that. I'm just wondering what is the tower then? I can't figure this one out. And I visited the bakery this morning. That place just helps me to figure things out, I have to say. So I can sit there. Sometimes I just wonder if people just see me like writing and Google and wonder what they think I'm doing. If it is like swing trading or foreign politics or the Swedish immigration, I don't think people think that. However, I was kind of stuck, like, what is the tower? And it hit me that Sweden needs to shake things up. Sweden needs to be like in the forefront, because the outcome is the King of Wands with clarifier, the Lovers, and the Seven of Wands. And that is to make the choice of standing up to oneself, to the Swedish people, to our country, to, yeah, no, we have changed our mind. We can love you, we can support you, but something needs to change here. And we need to be the leader to do so. So I came that far. Okay. But firstly, how would the EU actually take this? And probably not well at all. They will, because Sweden has been seen as so open and compassionate and um, like we go along with the narrative that the EU is putting on us, that saying no in a very logical way, we are not speaking like emotionally or like we don't want to any longer, but actually like say, yeah, this is the three reasons. Remember the story I told of my friend and her boyfriend when he came at her with emotional manipulation, and I told her to, yeah, what are the logical answers in this situation? And we pointed down, I think, two or three, and I said to her that, yeah, you need to kind of repeat those over and over again, so he doesn't come, like he can't do anything, he can't sway you to like emotionally feel and then break you down, because the logic of it says something else. Remember that? This is the same thing. This is Sweden, like three things, or I don't know, maybe it's a list, but we say three things that logically Sweden can't go along with the European way of handling immigration, and this is why. And I think the European they would kind of collapse because the what I've heard were that Hungary, is that Hungary, and Poland actually already have said that they are over their limits of what they can handle. They have been shamed for it, which, like, how can you do that if a country actually said that, well, we are on our knees, how can you not care about that? Like, are you kidding me? Europe can't save everybody. There's a lot of people in the world. Europe can't save everybody, and that is just the truth. So if Poland and Hungary have actually already said it is a concern, and was something about Greece and Italy that have a real problem, and they can't, like, I think it's the borders or something. Isn't the old stories of people coming in on boats and drowning and stuff over from whatever country they are over from? And I think Italy and Greece can't handle that either, but no one in Europe does anything. I've heard about a bridge in France. I think it's France. Um, the people that don't get like a Swedish citizenship here, oh well, I just go to France, to Paris, and live under a certain bridge. So that is the mindset of people that actually come here. Not all of them, but some that we do not want here. That Sweden is actually saying, no, you are not qualified enough. They go to this bridge and live under it in France. So it's France problem, and that just keeps going. It goes in circles, and the EU don't know what to do about it. They do absolutely nothing. It was something about Germany also that I can't remember. I think it's got pressure from its own citizens. I don't know why the citizens in any way would want this. Can't remember. However, Sweden have to be the first one to go. So I came there. Okay, making a choice of standing up for its people and its country, being the king of wands, which is a leader, like he's leading the way with passion and integrity, and he is forcefully ending something to bring the tower moment, and everybody's extremely upset. It is, the tower moment is nothing you actually want but you want it because after it you can build again. It's like tearing down a house so you can start over again with a clear structure, like new materials, building with people that you want to build with, and so on and so forth. So my next question, okay, who is our immigration minister? I had no idea, never heard of him, but his name is Johan Forssell, something. And I was wondering, okay, fine, how is he seen? How is he handling all of this? And he is actually on his way, like he is seen as someone that does in some way embody this kind of a mindset, if you will. Men Ville, sluta. He wants food. However, I kept like asking, and would he be someone that could also bring the tower down? And the answer was he could. He is just too careful. He doesn't stand strong in his conviction. He doesn't think that he will have the Swedish people with him or other parties or like he's afraid of standing alone in his own conviction. Men Ville, det räcker. Tack. I will give him food when I'm done here. I just want to keep going. Men sluta Ville. He just can't stand in his own conviction. He is not strong enough. He doesn't believe that he can change this strongly enough. Okay, fine. He's on his way. He is like half there. He is seen as someone that does actually embody the energy of it. And how can I help this through? So the next question would be, the answer I got was the King of Swords. Okay, who is the King of Swords? Is an authority figure, is someone with world experience, real experience. He knows what he's talking about. He is an authority figure that you kind of look up to. He is extremely logical. There is no emotions there. He doesn't do emotions, but he's clear-minded and he is highly respected. So I was trying to kind of figure out if Johan Forssell isn't brave enough, energetically not there yet, who is the King of Swords then? And the first person that came to mind was, for me, the only person that I actually listen to when it comes to politics is Carl Bildt. He has my respect, and if you ask me, that man does not speak half of what he should speak about. He should speak a lot more, actually. And I always look up, I know he's on Twitter, but I don't have Twitter today. I always look up what his opinion is when something like the war that started now, when that kind of was brought up. And according to my readings and all the information I have been kind of collecting the past few days, and I need this to be out of my head right now, is that someone like Carl Bildt, with the kind of mentorship and like people looking up to him. He knows how to say things. He knows how the EU will react. He knows how to calm things down. He extremely experienced. If he would pick up his phone and help Johan Forssell um, to stand strong in standing up to the European Parliament, EU, whatever, to actually say that, yeah, no, the Swedish people need to take care of the Swedish people. And whatever immigration politics that the EU has put on us is, we are saying no. And he needs obviously to say that in a clear-minded, very logical, still compassionate, because that the Swedish people are compassionate. You can't argue with me on that at all. We care deeply. This actually can change the whole structure for the immigration policy in EU, actually. And Sweden need to do it because everybody else is watching, and we have the authority. Everybody is looking up to us. We have someone like Carl Bildt, who I'm like, yeah, no, I'm listening to him. I wouldn't dream of listening to anybody else when it comes to like conflicts or anything else that matters, actually. But you need someone like him in, even if he's not in the spotlight, he needs to be there to help out. Like, I wouldn't say like writing down what to say. And then also when the tower kind of hits, when the EU is coming after Johan Forssell, or when everybody else wants to come after him with emotional manipulation, or to have someone like Carl Bildt that says, yeah, no, you have to stay firm in this. It will pass. You have to say this. You have to do this. You have to meet with that. You have to. That would actually change quite a lot. And I don't know. I would call Carl Bildt and say, yeah, you need to go in there. You need to change this. Even if he's not the person in the spotlight, he needs his authority, his energy, he's Carl Bildt. Everybody listens to him. He could actually help Johan Forssell to take this energy of, we should all be ashamed of wanting to take care of ourselves, and having this emotional manipulation that is on all the European countries right now that are drowning, to be completely fair, in an immigration policy that isn't, we can't handle it. Like, none of the European countries can handle it, and no one of, and EU hasn't done anything about it for extremely long time. So if Sweden speaks up, if Sweden say no, stand firmly in that, like in that conviction, take the hit. Yeah, fine, we pay the sanctions. Yeah, fine, we don't get those grants. Fine. And not, I wouldn't say to, because then everybody else, every other European countries need to take our quote. And I don't think that's fair either, to be completely honest. Just because, or they might, that quota might push the other European countries to do the same. Yeah, but if Sweden is not going to do it, then why should we? And why should we take on twice as many? Because Sweden doesn't do it. And if they start to say no, and they see what can the EU do to Sweden? Okay, can we afford to say no? Probably. So then everybody's going to do the same thing, which is going to change the whole immigration policy in the European countries. And now I'm done. Oh my god, this was quite um like this was quite it has been in my head for such a long time, and every little piece of everything is just trying to be put together, and I needed an outlet for it. So here you have it. The key person here is Carl Bildt. If I had his number, I would absolutely call him and say that you have a purpose here. Like, go and be the brilliant man that you are, and make this happen for the greater good of Europe. I don't know, obviously, if if we would take on that responsibility or not. But Johan Forssell need a push. Johan Forssell need someone to kind of lean on, someone so he doesn't break, or that he doesn't step back, or that he has to feel like he needs something kind of backing him up here, because the hit will come, um, and you need someone like Carl Bildt to lean on then. So I'm done. Thank you for listening.